expected. Well, let's get more on this with investigative journalist Tony Gosling now. Tony, you're welcome to the programme. The head of FIFA's Public Affairs Committee says Blatter is not involved, while US officials say he's not in the clear yet. But he has been subject to a major media campaign, we know, for some time. Let's just take a listen to what was said.
Blatter should have gone long time ago. He is damaging football. It was a mafia masquerading as FIFA. But the thing is, because rats can get anywhere in the world, he is the president of FIFA.
Football's governing body has tried to tackle its shady inner workings by suspending 2 executives on corruption charges.
There's been so many corruption scandals that FIFA have had to deal with.
Bribery and FIFA go together like peanut butter and jelly.
And yet, the head of FIFA maintains that they are merely a humble, non-profit organisation.
We have to remain a non-profit organisation.
A non-profit with over $1 billion in the bank.
Yeah, but this is a reserve.
A reserve? A reserve of $1 billion. When your rainy day fund is so big, you've got to check it for swimming cartoon ducks.
Well, given all this criticism facing Blatter, what do you make of the timing of the arrests in Zurich?
Well, I'm sure I'm not the only person in the world who, when I woke up this morning to hear about these arrests for money laundering, conspiracy, corruption, tax evasion and fraud, I had my fingers crossed, hoping that we had a whole load of top bankers who had been arrested. But no, the timing is really the dead giveaway, isn't it? This investigation by the media and by various police authorities has been going on for around about a year now. And yet, just 2 days before the election, suddenly there's all this suspicion surrounding Sepp Blatter. But let's just remember, FIFA is one of the last remaining institutions in the world which is not owned and controlled by the West. And I'm thinking about important institutions such as the International Atomic Energy Authority, people like this, you know, who are overseeing nuclear world. And the US angle on all this is a dead giveaway, isn't it? Chuck Blazer and Jack Warner at FIFA seem to have been at the heart of this conspiracy, even though the United States isn't really a soccer-playing country. I mean, they probably would say they are, but you know, most of us Europeans, we see them as playing American football, completely different sport, really. Let
me butt in there for a moment, because 2 US senators, including John McCain, are calling on FIFA to oust Blatter. The reason is, quote, his continued support for Russia. Why are American lawmakers getting involved in the governing of football?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? I think they should butt out. And, I'd like to see football as sport as a completely independent of politics, but it seems that we've got a kind of bunch of control freaks in the United States who want to control all these institutions, and this is definitely a torpedo aimed at Blatter, for this Friday election. As you pointed out, some of that was press from the UK. The British media has been attacking Blatter ever since last year, when England's bid was a failure. Now, this is real sour grapes. If we Brits were the sportsmen that we and women that we're supposed to be, and that we say we are in many ways, then we would take that on the chin. But there are a lot of people who wanted to make a lot of money out of having the World Cup come to the UK, and the fact that it's going to Russia, I think, is a good thing for the world, because we'll see a bit of, sort of détente in a way of getting away from this constant Russia bashing in the Western media and having a good game of football.
The arrests in Zurich have arguably raised the chances of John McCain getting what he wants, the current FIFA president removed. But let's focus on his rival for a few moments. Tony, just bear with us. We'll be back with you in a few moments, because Blatter's only remaining challenger, Prince Ali Hussein, is being held up as the man who could end the current FIFA chief's stranglehold. Now, he got the backing of football legend Diego Maradona, for example, while Britain's Football Association has also thrown its weight behind the man labelled by some as charming Prince Ali. He's quite an interesting biography for a football executive, the third son of King Hussein of Jordan. He's also a major general in the Jordanian armed forces and used to serve as commander of the king's bodyguards. Prince Ali's wife is a former CNN journalist, and he's also known for his successful campaign to lift the ban on female Islamic players wearing hijabs. Ali may be loved in the West, but he's not enjoying the support of Asian footballing heads. When his bid for FIFA's top job was made public, they insisted a person can't nominate themselves without consulting the Asian Confederation. Well, now let's get back to Tony, who's standing by. Tony, thanks for waiting there. Is Prince Ali Hussein seen as the West's favourite, and why?
Look, a Jordanian general, that this guy sounds to me like a perfect pliable stooge for the West, a puppet kind of character. But, you know, the timing, again, this is a dead giveaway for me. You know, when we're seeing these sorts of arrests take place, I'm reminded a little bit of the FBI's role back with all the terror attacks that have been happening in the United States, almost all of which, it now turns out, have been entrapment by the FBI. The FBI actually are the architects of many of the conspiracies and the problems around the world. And it's a funny relationship, isn't it, between the FBI and the Swiss? What's going on there? You know, the FBI say we've got this evidence, the Swiss police go. And if you notice, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a news story to do with Chuck Blazer, who's at the centre of this scandal, saying that he thought that that Sepp Blatter, if he stepped foot in the United States, would be arrested. Now, look, just a minute. This is an attack on FIFA, and I think FIFA has really got to be strong and say we're going to have this election on Friday, come what may, and we're not going to let the West bully us. And if the US is attack on ISIS has got anything to go by, they're probably going to fail in this attempt to topple FIFA.
Well, we appreciate your thoughts on this developing story. Investigative Tony Gosling, thank you.
Thanks, Ewan.